Welcome to Camp Chaos, where we celebrate the wild ride of modern womanhood.
Join us as we dish on motherhood, life's ups and downs, and all things pop culture that we know you want to talk about.
With special guests and expert insights, we're here to empower you through the chaos of everyday life.
Consider this your ultimate escape from the hustle and bustle. And as always, parental guidance suggested.
Camp is now in session. Welcome back to Camp Chaos. Today we are talking all things travel.
With a baby.
With a baby.
And why you shouldn't do it.
And the importance of traveling with babies. No, all seriousness, my parents used to travel with us when we were little all the time. So I was so set on taking my kids traveling. Like, I didn't care how hard it was going to be. We were going to be getting on airplanes. We were going to be exploring. We were going to be doing things. And then I did it once and I was like, okay, we are staying put for a very long time. It is so hard.
It's so hard. And I feel like it's hard at the different ages of the kids. So when did you first travel with Zane? Was the Italy trip the first?
No, that was like our first big international trip when he was a year. But I want to say we took him. Oh, I know where we took him. This is very foolish and like so ridiculous. His first flight was actually to Las Vegas when he was like, I think he was 4 months old and it was for Super Bowl.
Oh, I remember that.
Yeah. I'm like, who takes a 4-month-old to Vegas? But, you know, we wanted to go and we don't go anywhere without him. I remember for sure, like the early part being like, am I going to have all the stuff? Am I going to have all the diapers and the formula and the change of clothes and the sleeping necessities and all that? But the most important thing is, are you bringing your mom?
100%.
Like, and that for me, I was like, Mom, I need you to meet me there.
Yes.
And she did.
Oh, thank God.
Thank God.
Well, I do not come from like a big traveling family. Like we were never like, my parents not go to Europe with the whole family. Like they went just them with my dad's work.
Because they had 4 kids.
Yeah, because
that's why you don't have 4 kids. That's insane.
But we took Miller on his first trip when he was like 28 days old because we had a wedding at Ojai Valley Inn. So we went and you guys, I was like the typical first time mom. Brought my breastfeeding pillow, brought his bathtub.
You brought the crib.
Essentially, I brought my DockATot. I brought all of my bottle cleaning supplies. I brought my bottle warmer from home.
Oh, you're crazy.
I was nuts, but I didn't know any better. Yeah. Like I assumed that when we went to Ojai, I didn't even think to call.
Did you take a U-Haul?
Luckily, we had a big SUV and it was like just us 3. But I didn't even think to call to say like, do you have any accessories for children that can help me? And I'm sure that they would have.
Hotels even have diaper genies, which
they
is
have
so
everything
nice. They
now.
have so much.
But I did not know that back then. So I literally brought everything. Also took him to Nashville when he was 3 months old because it was my sister's bachelorette party.
And of course he has to go because you're breastfeeding.
So my sister, Miller and Drew had to go. And again, I'm like, let's find a bathtub because I'm like, I can't bathe my 3-month-old in a hotel bath. Brought all the things.
Everything.
I have since learned you don't need to
Simplify. Everything will be okay. So I remember with Zane, probably a week leading up, I'm like, okay, everything I use this week, I'm writing it down in my notes and it's getting packed with us. So I literally had like, here's for sleep, here's for health and safety, here's for toys, here's for feeding. Like I had categories and then I had a check mark. So when I was packing to be able to like, yep, check, have it. I still like that system. Mm-hmm. However, I think that it's important to narrow it down and only bring the necessities. You with Amazon, especially if you're traveling like domestically,
right? You
can Amazon anything and have it there within the same day or next day.
Yes.
Diapers, I mean, whatever it is that you need. When you're traveling internationally, I think it's a whole different ballgame. Just for the flight alone, that is insane. But then you're in a European country or a different country where you're like, do you actually have Amazon and the things that I need for your convenience of being a mom? Breastfeeding, I think, is so much easier traveling with because there is no refrigerating. This is like no milk
straight from the tap,
no cleaning. You got straight from the tap. Here's a boob in the mouth on the plane and wherever that is. So that is, I think, a huge benefit. Formula moms, it is hard. You are washing bottles in airplanes on long flights. You are having your formula tested in international airports. I mean, it's a lot. But I will say, like, not traveling with kids, like I know people, this is probably controversial. I have never left my kids and I don't plan on it anytime soon. But I think it's so important bringing them along. Like they say they don't remember. I fully think that it shapes them as little people.
Yeah, I think it is important to give them these experiences to, especially for my kids, like get them out of routine. Miller is so routine. I see Palmer already developing like a routine like mentality that has a lot to do with the way Drew and I parent. Yeah. We are very routine. We hardly ever like veer off the routine. It's like they sleep with the same babies with the same blankets. We sing, the same bedtime story. We say the same prayers. Like it's a very routine. So I think for us, it's good to not only for the kids to get out of the routine, but for us to realize like it's okay if they're going to bed a little bit later and we have to sleep with them in the bed while we're on vacation, or like they didn't get the bath like they do every single night. I think it's great for them to get these experiences. I think when you are traveling with kids, you have to be really strategic about the whole thing. Like you have to, if you do not plan, you are planning to fail. Is that what they say?
Yeah, if you don't plan, you plan to fail. Yes. I agree with that. Like, especially when even picking flights, like
everything has to be a plan.
Yeah. Like if you're picking flights, like don't do it right when the baby's supposed to be sleeping. Like have a little bit of time for you to get on the plane and adjust it, and then have it be like the baby's nap time. Like if you can.
Yes. And then you have to think about, so we took Miller to New York when he was a year. Wow, I guess you did travel. Yeah. Like a decent amount. You have to also think about what time zone you're going to keep them on.
Which, by the way, like taking a baby to New York,
that's a bad idea.
I actually rather take Zane. My trip to Italy was probably easier than your trip to New York.
Probably. I was, well, not me, but Drew and my dad were carrying the stroller down the stairs into the subway. Not ideal. But I plan to keep Miller on our time zone. So he went to bed in New York at 11 p.m.
Yeah.
Because he goes to bed at 8 o'clock here, and then he woke up at like 10 a.m. there. So we were able to structure our vacation around that, which is not really fun. Also not ideal being like in your hotel room taking naps. But I feel like when you go to travel with kids, like you also have to lower your expectations.
100%.
It is not the same as going on a vacation. Like your previous vacation life, it's over.
Yeah.
But you're parenting your kids elsewhere.
100%. You're just at a different location with your kids. It's not a vacation. I do think though, like we took Zane and Zoe to Cabo, and it was like, I was so adamant of she's going to have one nap in the room. And then if she's tired at the pool, she could fall asleep. Or if she wants to fall asleep on the go, that's fine, because I need to relax and I need to be relax by the pool. Said no mom ever. But I just wanted some sense of like fun and like a normal vacation than being tied to her naps. Like you have to be able to be flexible. And I think I was so weird about like, I have to make sure they get their sleep, like to make sure they get sleep at night. Screw it. Like you just have to make the memories at some point and just have a good time. Also, I think it's really interesting of like planning what it's going to look like traveling through like the airport. What's on your back? What's in your hands? What are you pushing? Like that for me is such a mental load of even not traveling alone with kids, but like with you and your husband, like who has the travel car seat? Who has the stroller? Who's taking the carry-on with like the changes of clothes and all the toys? Like and then who has the kids?
You guys, there is so much that goes into packing for kids and airport travel that I did not know about. Where were we traveling? Oh, I think it was New York. And we did not know that you had to check the bag or the car seat at the gate before. So we're like, oh yeah, we have our car seat, but we'll just drop it there. And they're like, get in line, go over there to see the other
You're
agent.
dragging this.
Yeah. I had no idea all the things that go into travel. So let's go through like what we pack for the kids and then how we travel through the airport.
Oh my God. Okay. So I like thinking in categories.
Okay.
Like with outfits. And of course I plan everybody's outfit, but I am like, here's your day outfit. Here's your night outfit.
Same.
For both kids. And night outfit is not like your PJs. It's like your night outfit to
your
go to
sequin
dinner.
Dress.
Your sequin dress and your accessories. No, and your PJs. Like that. The PJs go in the sleep. And the packing cases. If you do not pack with packing cases as a mom, I don't know how you do it. But I have their outfits, day and night outfit, like shoes, socks, underwear for Zane. Like that is all in each category, each kid packed. Different cubes for different color, or different color cubes for each kid. Then I go to sleep. Everybody has pajamas, and there's always more pajamas because it doesn't matter. Vacation, somebody's throwing up, someone's having a blowout. Yeah. Like things are just happening on vacation. Like life is being really funny. Life is lifing on vacation. So there's always like at least 2 extra pairs of pajamas. Sleep sacks. Mm-hmm. I also bring sheets because I do not fuck with hotel crib sheets.
Okay, well, my kids don't sleep in the crib, so.
Oh, they don't?
No, they won't sleep in the crib.
Well, Zane doesn't. Zane's in between us, but Zoe is in a crib.
Okay.
So I bring at least
yes, I would
one.
Bring a
Sometimes
sheet.
I do 2. A slumber pod. I used to bring that slumber pod with me, but now there's Baby Quip. Have you heard of Baby Quip? Oh my God, it's like the Airbnb of baby gear. We went to Park City. Somebody told me about Baby Quip. I met actually the founder of Baby Quip there. He has a house there. And we rented everything. And they delivered it. They had a slumber pod, 2 high chairs, pack and play. They brought everything. Toys for Zane. It was incredible. And like, honestly, when you go to a new location, any new toys for kids is exciting if it's just not their own toys. So I would used to bring all the toys, and they're like, it's the same shit that I have at home, just in a different location.
Orange schmoring.
Yeah, exactly. But a new Tupperware thing of like, here's a bin full of new toys. Even if it's like stuff he doesn't like, he's like, it's new and it's not his and he wants to play with it. So Baby Quip was huge for me traveling, and it just eliminated so many other things. We're over the Artipop phase, but I will say that was like always in the packing thing, went under a year. So after sleep, and then I'm so annoying. I bring the travel camera.
So do I.
Which is so annoying.
Half the time we use it, half the time we don't.
I know. And it's just like all the shit that you use and that you don't bring.
I know.
It's just frustrating.
It is. So I would say I pack similar to you. If it's a quick trip, like a 2-3 day trip, we're doing packing cubes, all Miller's day outfits, all his night outfits, same thing. Sleep sacks, same for Palmer. I bring the hatch because my kids cannot sleep without the sound machine.
And now you have to bring 2 hatches.
I know. I have to bring Miller's babies because he can't sleep without the babies. I have to bring the babies and the blankets. I'm like, this has really gotten out of control. For a longer trip, which I did for Cabo, I did the shoe carrier, which was the best thing because I did literally the top row was Monday. Day outfit, night outfit, pajamas, overnight
and
diaper.
It's clear, right?
Clear. And it's like in the pocket for each kid. So it was like Miller, Palmer. And you're ready to go.
And then you're at the pool having a drink.
100%. It's the best thing ever. It is the best
that actually
thing
makes
ever.
me excited. Let's go somewhere. Right? Like I could do that. Yeah, that's easy. No problem. Right?
Yes. Also diapers. I never pack them unless it's like an overnight diaper or something that I might not find. New York, I shipped them to the hotel.
Yeah.
Even in Mexico, we were like, we're going to Costco and getting diapers and we'll leave the rest there because it takes up so much space in a suitcase. I will bring wipes. Yeah. And then I always have my toiletry bag packed. Like I have a separate makeup, everything is like separate. So I have that for the kids. Their toiletry bag is always packed. So it's just like toothbrushes,
Q-tips, the body wash,
lotion.
You always need a Motrin. Like it's always going to happen that somebody spikes a fever. Yeah.
Baby or
teething things,
all the things,
the paste,
the butt paste, it's all in there. So I just like grab their travel thing and then they're good to go. Then by the time it gets to me, it's like, oh, do I have underwear? I don't even know.
You have nothing. You know, I also, this is so annoying. And I did preface this by saying don't overpack, but now here we are saying, here's all the shit you do need to overpack. I do find too that like you need to pack basically the same stuff in your airport bag. Like I bring Motrin on, well, especially for long flights. Like when we're going from here to Italy, like there is something just in case somebody's spiking a fever on that plane. I am not going to be that mom that is like, I don't have Motrin and you feel warm. Heaven forbid it happens, but like my fear will like, if I don't, the one time I don't have it is when somebody will be getting a fever.
My mom always gets mad at me because she's like, your diaper bag is 35 pounds. What is in there? I'm like, in case I need she's like, you live in the in case. I'm like,
but it doesn't happen. It's when you don't live in the in case is when all this shit hits the fan.
Totally. We are big slumber pod people.
Yeah.
So Miller was in that slumber pod until he was like a year and a half. Remember when you could fall asleep in your makeup and still wake up glowing? Well, for us moms, those days are long over. If you're noticing changes in your skin's tone and texture, maybe you're like me, seeing a few fine lines and wrinkles, you are not alone. But here's the good news. Today's sponsor, OneSkin, has developed a skincare line that targets these changes where they start, your cells. OneSkin's topical supplements are powered by their proprietary peptide OS1, scientifically proven to target the dysfunctional senescent cells that start to accumulate around age 30.
These are the cells that make skin dull, dry, and more prone to lines and wrinkles. Plus, all of OneSkin's product for the face and body, including their new mineral sunscreen, are backed by lab and clinical studies and more than 8,000 five-star reviews.
For a limited time, you can try OneSkin for 15% off using the code CAMPCHAOS when you check out at oneskin.co. Start your new scientifically proven skincare routine today with OneSkin.
Treating the symptoms rather than the root cause of aging has long been the norm. Most skincare available on the market is designed to provide a temporary reduction in visible signs of aging, addressing just the surface symptoms of an underlying decline in skin health.
OneSkin is the world's first skin longevity company. By focusing on the cellular aspects of aging, OneSkin keeps your skin looking and acting younger for longer. Get started today with 15% off using code CAMPCHAOS at oneskin.co. That's 15% off oneskin.co with code CAMPCHAOS. After you purchase, they'll ask where you heard about them. Please support your show and tell them we sent you.
I told Gus, like, I rather cut back on the type of hotel we can stay in and have 2 rooms than have a really nice hotel with 1 room that we are on top of each other and miserable. Like, we are at the place in life where it's not enjoyable to not have space on vacation.
I can absolutely confirm it is no longer enjoyable to have 1 room on vacation with your
kids.
Just
in this period of life when people are sleeping weird and like not sleeping and waking each other up. Like, I know this will get easier, but it makes sense for me to take 1 or 2 good vacations per year versus like 3 to like, you know, it doesn't make sense.
Or you just have to be okay with like, we're not going to enjoy what we used to enjoy on vacation, like watching TV in the hotel room. When we went to San Diego recently, that TV did not go on one time. No. We're all listening to The Hatch. All of us had the red light on. All of us could not move out of our beds because Miller would see. I would get up to pee. He's like, "Mom, the light's red."
No,
where
are you going? Not. No,
I'm like,
not.
Your sister's asleep. Shut up. Shut up and go to bed.
You're like, everything I taught you unlearned for this moment. Mommy needs to pee.
I'm like, Mommy needs a glass of wine right now. Is that approved during the red light in bed? Is that okay?
Mommy needs red wine with that red light. Oh God, yeah. I mean, I think that every mom has to find what works for them. And like, I am also the mom where I'm like, I just need to be on vacation. Like, Gus always says, he's like, you are a different person on vacation. Like, every time I get crabby, he's like, is it time for a vacation? I'm like, it certainly is. But I also will say, like, find what works for you. And if you are able to, find help there. This sounds ridiculous, but when we went to Italy, I was not bringing a nanny because it was for a very big birthday for Gus, Zane's first birthday. It was like, we are going to go all out for this trip, and I'm not going to be bringing our nanny and then doubling the expense of hotel rooms and, you know, flights and all that. But what we did do is we worked with a travel agent to find an au pair in every city that we were in. So in Florence, in Rome, in Lake Como, in the South, like everywhere we were, we had a different au pair. And I am not trusting anyone taking my baby out of my sight in any country or here at no stranger. Like, I'm just meeting these people. But it was extra hands for us at dinner or at lunch or like going to the Coliseum or on a boat. Like, she was watching him nap, like being always with us in our presence, but just having extra hands. And it sounds really ridiculous and bougie, but I rather do a couple days less and do it that way where I actually can enjoy and have somebody be playing with my son or feeding him than having it where it's all on me. You're looking at me like I'm crazy.
I think you are crazy. I think that's incredible.
I did it in Cabo,
I didn't know that
too.
you did it.
Yeah.
I'm jealous because like it would be so helpful. Like, to your point, of course, none of us feel comfortable going to another country or anywhere and like letting some random.
No, never.
But just to have you like have them sit there and watch them while they're on the high chair and you can like actually talk to your husband 100%. While you're on vacation would be huge.
So like in Cabo, for example, we had her by the pool and it was like Zoe was napping and with her, and then Gus went and got a massage, and then I was in the pool with Zane. So it's literally like basically having your mom there or having a nanny there, and like just for the extra hands. And then we rotated, and then I'm like, okay, I'm going to go get a massage. You play with Zane. She'll still be with Zoe, but like everybody's right there watching.
Right.
I mean, it's for sure not for everybody. And like, it's an extra expense, but like, I'd rather have it that way and do less than, I'd rather budget that in.
Can I go on vacation with you?
Yes, if you don't bring your kids and you help me.
No, they're not. Oh, I'm the au pair.
You are the au pair. Absolutely, you can come on vacation with me. Where are we going? Gus?
Gus, I'm hired.
Hired. You're on the insurance now. Period. That was it. That was very easy.
Oh my God. No, yeah. I mean, help is crucial. What I also think is really helpful is having the plan, to your point, of airport travel, like getting through TSA, knowing like, are we wearing the baby? Is someone holding this baby's hand? Are we bringing the stroller? Is the stroller going to be already undone? Are we checking said stroller? Do you have all the bags for the car seat for the stroller to protect it? Because
those things get
they do not care about your belongings.
Yeah, I remember the first flight I took my white beautiful stroller to Vegas. It came out destroyed. I was like, oh, Southwest doesn't give a shit.
No, you guys, they have bags on Amazon that will fit. They're like
$15.
trash bags, $15 that will fit, zipper, all of your stuff. You can put everything in there. You need to buy them when you're traveling. But what's your guys' plan when you go?
Okay, when we're at the airport, first thing is like snacks, water, like filling up the bottles for formula for Zoe, like filling up the bottles with bottled water after you get through the gate. Somebody goes and gets all the water, make sure all the bottles are filled. We are the last people on the plane. I don't give a shit what people say of like, get on and get comfortable.
Oh, interesting.
We are the last people because you have 30 minutes of boarding and your kids are antsy and like they're done. Like no one wants to sit there for everybody getting on.
Yes.
So we don't need any overhead space. Like we plan for that. Or Gus is the very annoying one. You can imagine Gus for traveling. Could you imagine traveling with my husband? No. He's like, this needs to move. This moves. This is all. Yeah.
He's like, excuse me, ma'am. Is this yours?
Yeah. This will be leaving.
This will be going under the plane.
100%. And I change Zoe's diaper, even if it's just like a little pee, like right before we get on, like fresh diaper. Zane has gone potty. Like we are ready to go. New snacks are coming out. I don't introduce the snacks or the toys in the airport. I just don't. I love those like little rotating snack trays that like are always new snacks. It's like a game for him. And then there's always a toy for him to unwrap, at least one, like some new thing. I bring the iPad because I am no fool. And like, if you don't bring an iPad on a plane, good on you. But like, that's just not me. I can't do that.
No.
And Zoe now, like she just is so active. Like she wants to walk on the plane. She wants to go explore everything. So I don't know how moms travel with a toddler and a baby by themselves, but moms do it.
Well, also, I think the flight attendants are so good, but I think other moms see that and know, like, how can I help you? Do you need someone to like bring the stroller in? Can I walk your toddler on the plane?
But have you had the opposite? I've had the opposite. So Zane was probably a year and we were in Chicago visiting Gus's family. He had something come up for work that he needed to stay in Chicago later. And I had an emergency. I needed to get home. I had a hair appointment.
That is a big emergency.
It was an emergency. I'm like, I'm sorry. I have to be on that flight. I will be traveling solo with Zane. And so I left with Zane. I think he was not even a year. He was probably like 9 months old. I wore him. I thought this is going to be fine. Like I could do one kid on a plane, scream the whole time. The flight attendant, I was in the middle seat. Could you imagine? 2 men on each side of me, men. And I don't know if they're dads, but they did not give either shit about the fact that my baby was crying. The flight attendant walked up to the area like where I was and she goes, it looks like everybody needs a drink around here. I was like mortified. I was crying. Zane was crying. I got off the plane. Like a mom 2 rows back came up. She goes, honey, you did the best that you could. But like the flight attendants made me feel like shit. Oh. I mean, it's like you either get really lucky or you just.
I got really lucky on the way home from my best friend Andrea's wedding, which was like the longest travel day, especially for Miller, was like
multiple flights, right?
Multiple flights, 3-hour drive. And nothing could calm him down. I mean, he was screaming. The flight attendant came over to us and brought all the plastic cups that they had in the back and showed him how to stack the cups, played the game with him. Then a mom came up to us and was like, here, I have a toy. It hasn't been touched with. I just opened it. My kid hasn't played with it. It was like one of those popper things. See if this will help. I was like, halfway embarrassed because you're like, I don't even remember now.
Because I can't get my shit together.
Because my son like will not shut up and stop screaming. But I felt like, oh my God, okay, people, you totally shift your perspective from pre-babies where you're like, ooh, can't sit by the kid on the plane to like, it's okay. Yeah. It's okay if your kid cries. We've all been there. I think for us, like the airport plan is normally I'm wearing the baby, Drew is in charge of the toddler and all of the bags.
Have you and Drew gone anywhere without your family with both kids though?
No, we would never do that.
You just wait.
No, I would never do that.
Yeah.
Like unless when they're like 10.
10 years old?
Yeah. I have no plans to do that.
Yeah.
It's a lot. It's already a lot when we go with my family.
Yeah, and you have like several adults helping.
So many family members.
I remember when you were going to New York for the first time, I was like, how are you going to do that so long? And you're like, well, I'm going with my family. And you're like, everybody gets him for like 45 minutes.
And it was fine. That's literally how it went. It
Yeah.
was like, you're with my brother, you're with my other brother, you're with my
Everyone
sister.
takes shifts. Yeah.
Shifts. But for that New York flight, I did see the baby tip somewhere on Instagram where you are the last to load the plane.
Yeah.
And because we had assigned seats, my mom and I stayed off the plane, told the flight attendants and the gate agents, we are going to stay off until the very last second. Let him run.
Please be calling our name that you are departing.
We literally just circled. And it's like so much easier when but I think knowing also, depending on your destination, if you're going to need your stroller right at the gate or if it's something you can check, like that's all that goes. You're almost like a travel agent yourself.
If you're going somewhere that you really truly plan on staying at the resort, do not bring a car seat and have that car service, have a car seat in there for you. And like, it's one last thing. But
that's what we did for Andrea's wedding.
Yeah.
They had it.
Hate bringing the car seat.
It's just so much.
It's a necessity.
When we went to Nashville for my sister's bachelorette party, we were so new traveling with him. We got to the airport. We like unpacked all the things. I'm like, where's the pack and play? We left it at the airport.
Oh, did you really? Of course you did.
Just like, I forgot. I'm like, it's fine. I mean,
it is what it is.
It is what it is. Yeah.
One thing I hate, so our kids are all on the floor. They all climb on the floor. I won't even walk in a hotel room barefoot. Like I won't. I think it's disgusting.
Yeah, I always bring slippers.
There's carpets, but then our kids are on it's just gross. So I asked for like 2 king size sheets and I literally like put them out on the floor and let them like play on that. Like their toys are on that. Like that becomes our carpet. I recarpet the hotel room basically because I think it's so disgusting.
It is. Well, and it's like such a liability because obviously the hotel rooms are not baby proofed.
Oh, they're the most dangerous rooms in the world.
Like this close to the corner of the nightstand, this close to just pulling the drawer out and going straight backwards onto the hard headboard that was right behind it. I'm like,
where do we put you?
And we're done. When we left San Diego recently, I said, Drew, I think we're good for a little bit.
Yeah.
Yeah, I think we were better coming home. We can just drive.
Yeah.
We can go for a day vacation and then come home.
And it's so funny. I feel like flights are hard with kids, but so are road trips. Road trips are hard.
Yeah.
You pack just the same stuff. You're just not having to sit on an airplane, but you're sitting in a car bringing all the same shit.
Well, and even the 2 hours to San Diego, we tried to time it perfectly where like Miller doesn't really sleep in the car, but sometimes if he's tired enough, he will like doze off sometimes after Disney. So we did it so that he was like tired enough, had a very like stimulating morning. He dozed off for like 30 minutes and cried for another 45.
Yeah.
Like it's so hard.
Yeah.
Traveling with kids.
It's so hard.
But it's really great memories.
Yeah, you're like
really great photos for Instagram.
You're like, and that's about it. And then everyone wants to come home.
And is good for a long period of time.
I think the best thing you could do is if you could plan to have help so you can try to enjoy yourself a little bit.
Yeah.
And then obviously like just expect the unexpected, expect to have hiccups, expect that it's not going to go like your previous vacations.
Yep.
Every time we are anywhere, Gus always goes, I really wish we traveled more before we had kids. I'm like, yeah, you and I both.
Yeah.
But also realizing that like, okay, we're both at the like 3-ish, 1-ish mark. This is only going to be for another maybe 2 years. And then when they're like 3, at least I tell myself this, like when they're 3 and 5, it's going to be very easy.
I think so too.
Like they're going to be able to stay up for a later dinner. They're going to be able
you don't have to be naps or like
no napping. The nap trap is really just screws with your pool time.
Well, and I think you have to decide like what's important to you. Yeah. Are you good with your kid, just not following their schedule and napping like here and there while you're on the go? Like if you're in a city and you want to go explore. I remember the first day in New York, we put Miller down and I was like, I had tears in my eyes because I was in my favorite city. I'm looking out the window, all the lights, like the
hearing a sound machine.
And I'm literally hearing the Nanit, looking at the slumber pod, watching TV in silence because my kid is right here. And I'm like, why do we pay to come here? So I think you have to like set aside the schedule, set aside everything that you do at home and just like
be more flexible.
Be more flexible. You're going for the memories. If they don't sleep great, like it's fine. You're in a hopefully a beautiful place or like have really fun memories that you're going to create and you just have to go with the flow, cross your fingers, hope for the best and know that you are coming home back to your schedule.
Yeah, like
very soon. And I think the babies adjust very quickly to come back. Miller's always thrilled to be back in his room.
Oh my God. I mean, I do think though that if you're traveling for more than a week somewhere, you can, like we created really bad habits in Italy, like sleeping in bed with us. Oh, you need milk in the middle of the night. Like you can create some bad habits. So it's important to like, I hate saying not be gone that long, but like if you are gone that long, like do not create those bad habits because coming home, you do have to break things.
Well, that's why because our honeymoon got canceled because of COVID. We were supposed to go to Italy and Croatia and paid a travel agent and the whole thing. And it got canceled literally 2 weeks before. We waited like a whole year, saved for a full year to like do this really amazing honeymoon. And we couldn't go because of COVID. So everyone
and then you couldn't go because of kids.
Well, everyone always asks, oh, are you going to go? Are you going to go do that vacation? I'm like, absolutely not, because sleep is important to me. You guys listen to our sleep episodes. You heard how long it took me to get my kids to sleep. So for me, it is not worth it for me to go on a long trip to Europe to possibly create bad habits, to possibly switch him to an entirely different time zone and then expect to also switch him when we get back. So like for me, that's not important. I'm going to wait for my 40th birthday.
And for me, it was like, that was so important.
Right.
And I look back and I'm like, that was the best 2 weeks of our lives.
You still talk about it.
I still talk. Yeah. And like for Zane too, like he was our only child at the time. Like it was so special and so sweet that like, I'm like, oh, I wouldn't have traded it. I'm like, even though I really love my sleep as well, but like it worked.
Yeah. But it's like different perspectives that 100%. Work for, and I'm sure there's a million people who feel like you and a million people who feel like me.
And the other part of people that are like, you lucky bitches that just got to travel and you're complaining about it, which like fully understand that as well. But I think that like the biggest thing is like kids will not remember when they're under the age of maybe 3. However, like you will, and I do truly in my heart believe that it does shape them as people. Yeah. I really do. Is that weird?
No, I think it's true. And I just think it's so special for you to create memories with your family like that. Like, of course, we're creating memories every single day at home and going to dinner. But,
but it gets so mundane and in the routine and it's Groundhog's Day.
Going to see something new together or like for me, showing Miller my favorite city. He will never remember going to New York at one. I bring it up to him now, but it was special for me. Yeah. And so I do think while traveling with kids is so hard, there's so much work and effort that goes into it. Not unthankful work on our part, but it is so special.
Yeah.
So special for families. All right. Maybe go book a vacation now and let us know how it goes.
Let us know how it goes. And if you have any tips, drop them in. Because clearly we really don't know what we're doing. We're still learning. And then you add another kid and then you just have to learn it all over again.
Yeah, maybe I'll be staying home for the foreseeable future. Yeah. All right, you guys. That's it for today. Thank you so much for listening to another episode of Camp Chaos.
Thanks for tuning in to Camp Chaos. We hope you enjoyed today's episode.
If you liked what you heard, don't forget to subscribe, rate, and review our show. Connect with us on social media at Camp Chaos Podcast. Until next time, campers.